It is Monday and it's the first show of May. Can you believe it how quickly we got to it? She's here, Rhoda.
Hello, Dugald. Why did you have to start the show off like that? Reminding me it's the first, or at least the beginning of May.
First Monday of May.
Oh, wow. Jeez, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
May 5.
please.
I know the 4th is a big day, like May the 4th be with you, whatever, and all of that. But May 5, it is today. Be alive.
Be alive.
Get ready to jive.
Definitely.
After the show, I'm going to drive. I don't know, I'm running out here. But that's where I am. But thank you so much for being with us. As always, it is such a wonderful treat to have you along here with us at Mahala Monday as we're coming to you live. And it's an interactive show. We look forward to your comments, your questions, all the things you would like to know from the knowledgeable Oracle Rhoda. Please ask her. She's got the answers. But definitely put it in. We look forward to having you. And of course, as you know, this is a very positive show. And what we like to do is just have fun.
Oh, yes. As usual.
Yeah,
as usual.
As always.
Definitely.
As always. So, what do you want?
What I want, all I can say, I'm extremely excited with the guest we've got today. And you know what? You guys, you always know that Mark is always commenting in that. Mark, you can have your glass of wine with me afterwards. So he's sitting in the studio today. So welcome, Mark. And everybody else out there, don't forget, bring your cup of coffee, your plate of food, whatever you're doing right now, because it's obviously relaxing time, and spend some time with us.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. So as you know, it's always a positive show. We always highlight and showcase wonderful humans who make such a difference to our communities and societies and give us that little zedeshokwa, that little essence of life that is just a wonderful, memorable moment. So whenever you're by yourself, you will close your eyes and cast back your mind to that moment that really encapsulated something that is amazing. And this comes in many forms, whether it is people who help us when it comes to social development, whether it is people who try and better our lives, or whether the effort that we put in ourselves, or just the amazing hero stories for people that inspire us. And today it is sort of a basket of all of that.
Oh, yeah.
And more. And some. Because when we have a guest boy, we don't go small. We go to town. We bring the best of the best, and it is indeed a wonderful privilege and pleasure to welcome with us an artist that has done his thing pretty much around many places, but also have released more than one album, got amazing music out, of course, and all their headlines and all the applause and all the attention has been on one magnificent artist and performer, which is Hunter Blue, but also with a story that is more than just inspiring. So right here in the Mahala studio, Hunter Blue, people.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a privilege to be here, to be invited on this incredible, uplifting show. So, Hunter Blue is delighted.
And we're delighted to have you. We're so firstly, can I just say, love the outfit.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Really.
I thought I'd have to make an effort to meet you guys, and
wow.
I had to turn up. So thank you so much. Thank
We should have made.
I was going to say, I'm your dress right now.
Chic, darlings, you're chic.
This is how Mahala look.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, and I like because the viewers won't mind. You won't mind me telling it because Hunter came in and Hunter was fashioning wonderful sunglasses, looked all brilliant and fantastic, and he said, "I did this especially for you," and revealed it, and I love that look.
There we go.
There we go.
A little bit of Hunter Blue sparkle.
It is. But once again, thank you so much for being here. Really wonderful. There's so many questions.
Yes.
We gotta ask you. The one thing that I do know is you reside in Cape Town now.
Yes.
You were born in Dar es Salaam.
Yes.
In just north in the continent, in the tea country. That's where you were.
Yes.
You were born there. You were raised in London.
Yes.
Went back to Dar es Salaam, and now you're in Cape Town.
Magic. So the story is incredible. So I'm so lucky to live in Cape Town. I'm so grateful that I live in Cape Town. But it's been a journey. I mean, I was born in Dar es Salaam, beautiful country, beautiful. I left it when I was 2.5. The family moved to London. Lived all my life in London. Was educated in London, well into my mid-30s, and then there was a time to move back to Dar es Salaam. My father got sick. So I moved back to Dar es Salaam, and it was meant to be a 2-year plan. 9 years later, I was still in Dar es
Pretty much a
Salaam.
decade.
Exactly.
Wow.
But it taught me so much, which we will discuss. But there was a decision then. It was when the time came to leave. Should I go back to London to the life that I knew, or explore something new? And I traveled to Cape Town a number of times, and I fell in love with Cape Town. So I thought, let me just try and be in Cape Town. And I just stayed. And officially, Cape Town is my home. I travel the world, but Cape Town is my home. I love Cape Town.
Well, it is brilliant. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. So that, in a nutshell, is what the blue is. But there's so much, though. There's so much to you because you've done quite a bit as well. Because you also you've got a bachelor's in arts. Honors degree, that is what you've done. Fashion and textiles. You've also done life coaching.
Yes.
And then, of course, you ended up on the music. Before we start with end up in the music, tell us about the stuff you studied and all the Bachelor of Arts, honors degrees you did in fashion and textiles, because that's fantastic.
So at 7 years old, I had decided that I either wanted to do two things.
Yeah.
I'm either going to be a singer or sell ice cream as an ice cream man. And both those things were received with horror from my mother and my father, because we're traditionally Indian businessmen and women, right? So they trade, we like shops, we have businesses. So when I said I wanted to be a performer, that was like, this is not where we're going. Ice cream man, okay, yeah, if you bring up a brand and you open up a chain store, whatever. So it was decided at 7 I wanted to pursue arts, but I was never, let's say never encouraged. But there was a gap, a link for my dad and myself. He was working in clothing as a manufacturer of jeans. So he had worked with fashion designers, and he saw that as a career choice. So because I loved art and I loved fashion and I loved music and dressing up, it was only natural that I wanted to pursue fashion. So when I said, my mum said, it doesn't matter, I need 1 degree from you. You know, within our community, we were being brought up to have multiple degrees and then become doctors in something, you know. So I said, okay, I'll do a fashion degree. On the condition, the day that I graduate, the day after, I go straight into vocal training. And we shook hands. I graduated, got my degree. The next day, I was with a vocal coach, and I was starting doing music. That was when I was 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, and that is basically where the vocal training started. So everything done prior to that was just you mucking about at home.
Yeah, so I wasn't actually pursuing music professionally or you know, focused. At that time, I was still dancing, I was doing fashion, and then once I graduated, I became a fashion designer, worked as that, but then slowly found myself into, you know, taught myself to dance, was dancing in clubs, was spotted in clubs dancing, was asked to dance for clubs, was then spotted by a band, they asked me to dance for them, toured Europe, India, even went all the way to Pakistan.
Which was the band who asked you?
Asian Equation. So in the early 90s, there was an underground scene called Asian Underground, mixing with drum and bass.
Okay.
So they would mix drum and bass with classical Indian music, right? And it was this underground scene. And I became a dancer for that scene, mixing classical Indian Kathak mixed with drum and bass. And the band started touring, and I was their main dancer. And then I became a dance teacher, and then a choreographer, and then it just, everything was just rolling in that direction. And then I would use fashion, as I do now. It's my passion, how I look. I would make my own costumes, I would style the band, and I would style myself. And so that's where the fashion education came into play for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that nothing is ever wasted.
Nothing.
A very important lesson there.
Yes, absolutely. And also, it's given me so much. Like, I can talk to designers, I can talk to creatives, I can talk, if I want something made, I can talk to my couturier or a dressmaker. I understand the pattern cutting, the shape, what type of fabric. I know how to make clothes, okay? So it's such a lovely experience when I work with experts because, you know, we get things made and it's a joy rather than a struggle, you know?
Yeah.
So I love it. I love that I did the degree. It's amazing.
So there you got all of that. Then obviously, sorry, Rhoda, then I want to know.
This one is so exciting, sticking over here.
I'm taking over. Run. So then the vocal training starts now.
Yes.
Now, how was that? Because yeah, you are. I'm just picturing this young graduate who is now also working in the sort of industry in which you studied.
Yes.
But you got this this burning desire that you want to be a vocalist or you want to be a performer as you know, as a true artist.
Yes.
Would want to do at that stage. Now, you start with the vocal training. I mean, this is now. How did that go before you get like the first big, let's call it break or big opportunity or the first proper performance, or was it all just training? Because I myself have done, obviously, you know, because I do a lot of voice work, so, you know, I've done it through.
And you have a gorgeous voice.
Oh,
You
he
have
does,
such
he
a timbre
does.
and deepness
Thank you.
and multi-levels.
Thank you.
As do you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All I can say, this is the professional.
the
I'm just the
falsetto.
assistant. This is the business owner. This is the presenter.
No. But thank you. You're very kind. You're very kind. But obviously, there you go with the voice training. That must have been something.
Wow.
It's such again, everything I'm going to describe as a journey. So because I wasn't allowed to do what I wanted to do as a little guy, like, you know, growing up. When I was growing up, being effeminate or wanting to be in the arts was not allowed by my dad because he didn't understand it and he was there to protect me. So he wanted to have me, you know, in a conventional career where I would be safe. But trying to be an artist was not, and they didn't know artists. No one in our family was an artist. It wasn't in our lineage, you know. So I had that fear, even though I wanted to do it. I always had this belief I wasn't good enough to do it. So I was doing so much vocal training because I was comparing my voice to other people. And when you start comparing, right, you don't go anywhere because are you ever good enough? Am I ever going to sound like that person? Until you embrace your uniqueness and value it and don't compare with others. And remember, it's a gift that God gave me. The pleasure that I have from singing, I found my voice through that. And that's when it changed. So I don't say that I'm, you know, a major vocalist, like, you know, I'm not gonna knock out the notes like Mariah Carey or Sam Smith, but I have my notes and my notes are beautiful
100%.
for me.
Exactly.
And the gift is that I write my songs. So my narratives are about my true life experiences. So when I sing my story, it's my story.
That's your story.
So this is my voice.
And the funniest thing is, and I mean, I'm going off topic, but it kind of ties into what you said. And I remember we all know Macy Gray, which was super huge, and she's got also a fairly, as do you, just your chatting voice is a very distinctive voice, and you've got an amazing resonance with what are happening. But Macy Gray was the same, and people turned her away until there was a certain style that suits her. With you, it is the whole package because it is your story.
Yes.
It is your story. And I remember the first time we did vocal training, one of the biggest things they said, everybody thinks you got to have this big booming voice if you go out here. It's not the case. It's your personality. If you got a voice, it just means you're driving a different car. That's all it is.
That's
you still
what it
need to get
is.
to the destination.
I like
and it's
that.
all of it. And it's so heartwarming to hear you actually say that, to say all of that. But I want to talk about the music because that's what we want to talk
Can
about.
I jump in here, please?
All right,
Can this
I'm gonna
man give
take a
me
break.
an opportunity? I
All
think
right.
it's time for you to take a break
Okay,
now.
okay,
Can I
no.
jump in?
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. Talk
This is
amongst
really
yourselves.
passionate about this conversation. Thank you, Dougal. So just listening to you now, and I'm listening to you, and I'm so inspired exactly what you're saying. It's amazing. So, and I'm listening, and I'm hearing the passion coming through. And for me, it's more question as like, where does this come from? What inspires you? What's your passion?
My passion, where this music comes from, is to be healing and to be as close to source as possible. And how I mean that is when life has given me challenges, and everyone has challenges. I'm not saying that my life has been as difficult as others. My life is my life. When I've been stopped and I have to sit back and go, why is this happening? that's when I can use that moment to explore and start writing a song. And then once I've written it, it becomes my healing because it's out of me and I've surrendered it. And even I write different styles. So even if I'm writing some queer, sassy club anthem, that experience happened to me, so I wrote it. If I'm writing about heartbreak or uplifting my sister, because my sister got ill, so I wrote songs for her to feel uplifted. If I'm writing songs about a friend that needs some kind of emotional support because they broke up with a lover or somebody cheated on them, it comes from that exact moment of life and exploring it in my way so that I can learn from it, share it, and ultimately, the only reason I'm here, and I believe this 100%, is to connect with other people, because if I'm 100% myself, it allows you to be 100% you. So if you see me like this, I've created a space where I exist, which means you exist. And anybody that says to me, oh, I love your fashion, I love what you look like, I love your songs, it's because they have in them to mirror me back to them. So I always say, it's you. You only see yourself through me.
Yeah.
You know, so it is very much, that is the reason I found music and why I had to do it. Growing up, people were telling me, you can't sing, you're not going to be a singer, you're a dancer, you're a fashion person. I only wanted to do this, and no one gave it to me. I made it happen. So I go to studio, I work with people, and I convince them that this is what I want to do. And I won't leave until I get what's in my head. And afterwards, they say, we don't really get to work with artists that know exactly the type of sound that they're looking for, even though they're not musically trained. But if I say I want to hear some violin strings, I'll be like, I want it like a Bollywood thing, and I want, and I'll wait and wait until I get that sound.
Yeah.
And I won't leave until it's that sound. And if they can't do it, I'll find the string player that can do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that comes from source, because that's something that's driving me. I don't suddenly, that's something that goes through me. Wow. And the other magic about music, and I have to say, I see it visually. Wow. I don't hear it. I see the story. Sure. So when I write songs, I actually visually, it's as if it's a running movie for me, right? And it becomes holistically 3D. Wow. I live it. I'll close my eyes and I'll write, and I'm seeing and breathing and seeing the story, and I start writing the song. Sure. So this is just being linked to source, because I can't control it and I can't own it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that includes lyrics, it includes the melody, the whole thing.
So the production, let's say if I have one melody, I can go in a studio and I can literally have one line for a melody. But I know what the story's about and I know what the song's about. And then I work with magical, incredibly open, collaborative experts, producers. And we work together because it's them that brings the music to me. Yeah. It's me that listens and says, a little bit more this, a little less of that. Can we explore this? But they're open to that, and that's taken time, because I've worked with many people that have been like, no, this is not the sound that I want to do. No, you should sing like this. No, please don't sing in that key. This is your key. So I've worked with those people as well, right? But each one is a lesson so that I can grow and meet new people to 100%. Explore new connections.
100%, 100%. Let's talk about the music. May I?
Yes,
Thank you.
May. Thank you.
Talk to us about your latest single. But before we do, because you've got two albums out. Yes. And let me just go on to the first one. The first one that you did was that was Red Story. That was the very first one. And then there was Club Kitty, which was the same, which also sounds like I like that, the Red Story. So we're going to talk about that, and I also want to talk about the latest single. That is what we're going to talk about. But quickly, talk to us about your latest single.
The latest single. So the latest single is called Tremble Below. And Tremble Below I'm going to tell you a little bit of the story. I'm not going to tell you all the secrets, but I'll tell you the story. I met an incredible lover, and through our connection, I got to experience tantric connection. And tantric is about all of your inner energies, the chakra system, being totally aligned in one way, that you are vibrating in places that are not physical. It's an energetic system. And how that happens is there's a thing called kundalini. And kundalini is visually a snake that energy-wise, the movement goes intertwining from the base of your spine to the top of your crown. And each one of those hits a chakra center. And as it intertwines, each one being representative, for example, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, all of those get activated, and you're completely aligned with the universe, all that is. And to experience that with a lover, when you're most intimate, most vulnerable, you're not like protected by clothes or a job or anything, you are just laid bare, makes you very, very, I would say, takes you to another level. And that's what Tremble Below is about.
Okay.
So I think at this point, because it's beautiful. We're going to play the tune quickly.
Fantastic.
So everybody out there can listen to it and then just hear a bit of it, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it again. Or we're going to play that. Let me just put my ear in here quickly, guys. I like to listen to that.
Like it, love it. Very, very good, very good, very good. And it's after listening to how you explained the song, it's a very sensual.
Yeah.
Is that the would that be the
That
right?
is the word. That's the word I choose to use. Sensual, because
Yeah.
I never want to be crude. So it's an intimate song, but it's also done. I wanted it to feel a little bit like the 1960s, a little bit Rolling Stones meets Nancy Sinatra. So there's a little bit of that moment of, you know, give me your love, with the tambourine vibes, and it has a dub beat, so it gives you that kind of melodic pace to slow you down a little bit as well, and then I'll bring you back up, and then I take you down again. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing Tremble Below.
Was it more fun doing the song Tremble Below than any of the other songs?
Yeah,
I mean, I suppose it's like choosing a favorite child, isn't it?
It's like choosing a favorite child.
See, they are all my babies.
Exactly.
Right, but you know, like every parent will not admit it, but they do have a favorite. They do. They might not tell anyone out loud, but you know they have a favorite, right? So I'm not going to say out of all of my songs which is my favorite, but it's definitely a fun one, and it was great to do in the studio because you know I really had to like bring it, you know, like I had to be that, I had to bring that person in the studio with me.
And how much of it was completed in terms of the creative process? Yes. How much of the creative process from start to end was done in studio and done outside within what you had in mind of doing with your vision?
Right, so how I work, which is this is my process. I'll go to studio, I'll work with whoever producer I'm working with at that time. And I'll say I have this idea, and this is what the song is about. Then they'll say, can you sing a little bit? I'll sing a little bit to them. And then we'll do a very sketch. We'll get the beat, right? We'll get the rhythm. First the rhythm. And I'll get my rhythm track, and I'll go home. And then I'll write to my rhythm track. So then I will create the melody around that. Then I'll go back when I'm ready. I'll go back because I never rush it. And often I work on 2 or 3 songs at the same time. So I'll be doing Tremble Below, and if Tremble Below, the whole writing hasn't come to me yet, I'll be working on another song. And then when Tremble Below arrives, I'll go and do Tremble Below. So when it's ready, I'll go and sing it in the studio with them, a guide vocal, just a guide. And then we will produce together how the highs and lows and how the song is going to be. And then I will practice the vocals, and then I will go and do my lead vocal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a process.
So it is, yeah. So no, it's a fantastic one. And how old is Tremble Below now?
Tremble Below I did last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're in the beginning of the year, just like last week, basically.
No, it was I would
Time
say,
flies.
yeah, maybe about a year ago. Let's
Yeah,
just say,
yeah.
it wasn't
Because
just
it is
in
a process.
January.
It is a process.
But also because I'm very lucky, because I get to do this, every week. This is what I dedicate. This is my art. I do this. So I'm working on multiple tracks. It doesn't mean that it's in an order of like, this is next, this is next.
Yeah.
It's when it's right.
When it's ready. That's right.
And when Tremble Below is released, it was actually part of a series that we were working on for this year, coming out of Club Kitty's energy and moving more into a more introverted energy. So I released Stuntman, Hidden Scars, Famous, Tremble Below, and the next one is Addiction. These are all part of a story that links together. So if you were to put me as a coffee table book, each chapter links to the next chapter.
100%. Got you.
Wow, wow.
Got you. Hunter Blue, I tell you what, you know what? We got some comments. We got some comments. We got some comments.
We do have some comments.
People want to ask you stuff. I don't know what they're going to ask.
Thank
People wanna make
you.
comments there.
Mark says Hunter is looking good, too good. Makeup by who?
Makeup by who?
My darling Clanell Berger. Clanell Berger. She is my partner in creative magic. So
Wow.
when she's available, she is very sought after. She is an incredible artist, and so when she's available, she does my mug, as we say. And how we do it together is that I will have a concept. So I will create a mood board and references.
Yeah.
And then we will look at the color palettes, but she's amazing at creating what I have in my head for my face, because I'm not a young model, so something never said thank you. But being in my golden years, one can't expect one can't expect to be like looking like let's say a young one like Mark. But we can say that the skin is different, so certain things suit me, and there's differences in makeup or the, let's say, presentation. If I'm doing a photo shoot or a music video, it's very different from being live, right?
Yeah.
So this works because it's kind of not as baked, let's say, heavy, So.
But it looks great, and I'm
love
glad
it.
you were able to do it as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Jabbar Kasim also said interesting and keep it up, which is a big shout out to you as well, Jabbar. Thank you so much. Mark, I won't disclose his favorite songs, but mine, only from Kitty Club. Starships, Dr. Sammy, and Dark Side. When are we getting the next album?
Oh, right. So
you're putting it out there, Mark.
yeah. So the industry is interesting. If it was up to me, I would just release albums, okay? Because each album is a story of a body of work, a complete body of work that you would release. But I've been advised, and nowadays, because we live in an instant world where everything needs to be now, it's advisable to release single after single after single. So actually, I'm releasing, if you think of it, Hunter Blue releases continuous albums.
Yeah.
For this year, my team and I are releasing, it's not just me, there are magical people that support my vision, and I'm blessed. Jade Garage. I'm blessed, but we release every 4 to 5 weeks. Wow. And my body of work, because I am a workaholic, I have over maybe 55 songs recorded. So if you think of that in bodies of albums, I've already recorded 4 albums. So, but I will release which songs I like, depending on my mood and how I want to connect.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every month to every 5 weeks. So that's the story. And if God wishes, I'll do that forever.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
let's hope.
Yeah.
I really hope you get to do that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you as well, just listening to you, because I saw one of the things that you had also got a certificate for life coaching as well.
Yes.
So, and I'm listening to you, and this is obviously basically, like you're saying, touching base and connecting in a way to actually give your story to everybody else here. Because I'm thinking there's a lot of youth looking at you right now, and a lot of parents even, and they're like, wow, I mean, how did you take this step? You know, it is amazing. So, for me, what's your story you want to tell them on finding themselves, asking them that question, 7 years, at the 7 years old, and what would you tell yourself at 7 years old now if you had that opportunity to actually make that change in your life at 7?
Believe. Just believe that you are gonna, just believe that you are okay. I was in a world, it's not like that now, but I'm sure, and some, you know, young people and people do tell me, everyone's life is completely unique to them. And everyone has a set of things that they're going to deal with, right? Mine was in a time where being queer was not normal and not celebrated within my community, Muslim community at that time. I'm talking about the 80s. This was the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, okay? So in the UK, you know, that was known as, you know, a deadly disease that gay people deserved because they were sinners, right? Because we were still living in that world. I lived in that world. So it was not encouraged to be out, okay? And when I was out, I was always have used clothing and been, you know, loved to express myself. But I was even on the streets of London, when I was in my early 20s, I would be chased, bullied, spat at, followed home, called names, because I was very androgynous looking. People would assume that I was female, but I was male, and they didn't like that, you know? And so it was tough growing up through that. Yet there was this thing in me that was always, I'm here for a reason. There's something, why do I want to be a singer when no one I know is singing, or I don't even know if I can sing? Why do I want to be a dancer when none of my family support me or even understand what that's about? Because how are you going to make money as a dancer? What are you going to do? My dad would say, you want to be a dancer? Open a dance troupe. Employ dancers. Manage the troupe. Take them on, you know, and I'd be like, but I want to dance. Because you're not a worker, you're the boss. But for me, it's like, I'm an artist. I want to dance, right? So from the thing that I want to go back to your question, sorry, because I can talk for a day. The thing that I would like to tell anybody is that your dreams are unique to you. It is like God, or whatever you believe in, whispers through your intuition that is secret language that only you can hear. And no one needs to understand it apart from you, because it's yours. And once you own it and say, it's mine, you can build on it little by little. So if you want to be a fashion designer, okay? And you're living in a world where that's not allowed for you, or it's a struggle, or you need lots of, all you have to do is focus on what makes you happy about being a fashion designer. Is it about sketching? Then sketch. Just sketch a little bit every day, because God doesn't show you the whole way, but if you take one step, he'll show you the next 5 steps. But if you don't take that one step, he can't help you. He can't take you there because you're not committed to have faith. And faith is what makes you get to where you're going. Because again, no one gave me the opportunity to be a singer. I made it happen. Because I said, all right, if I just do one vocal lesson, I'm going in that direction. And then you meet the vocal teacher, and she gives you this idea. And then you do this, and then you find out, oh, I'll sing like this. I didn't even know that before I started.
Yeah, 100%. You got to walk the path.
Wow.
So the most, it's not mine, but there's this beautiful analogy, is that when we're driving a car at night, you put the headlights on, you can only see 6 feet ahead of you. You can't see the dark at the end of the road. You don't know where you're going, but faith, the lights keep shining and you keep getting to your destination. That's how I live life, and that's how I would tell anybody. I don't know what my future is. I can pretend or try and control it. But when I say I let go, let God, magic appears.
Oh.
It's a very, you're touching on a deep thing, and you're raising several questions here in my mind, because as you said, even in the youth, it was difficult for you. You said, like, you know, people would call you names, and people will spit at you, or whatever they would do. Here you are in London, first world city. You like, you know what I mean? This is what the utopia in a lot of in people's minds, where everything is free and liquor and whatever. And there's elements of this. Then, as an adult, you go to Africa, Dar es Salaam. Now, did you have to pull back to fit in? Did you have to control that?
Yes. So that's a very, I think that was one of my biggest growths, the biggest lessons that I had to learn within that period. So, you know, I think I'd mentioned that it was meant to be a 2-year plan. It ended up as 9 years.
Yes.
On the first, now, I moved back specifically because I'd lost my father. My mother and father had a huge business. And my mother was helping my father in the business. She's always worked, but she was not the front of the business. In that culture, the man is in the front, the woman is behind. So my mum was running the whole HR department, right? And my dad was the front. When he passed away, we had a business partner as well, a male business partner. But he was running, they had partnership in certain projects, okay? So he was running his businesses, but he couldn't come and now look after all of my mum and father's business. So in the transition of my mother stepping forward as now the owner, she did not want to leave it in a way that, oh, my husband's died, I'm going to sell everything. She wanted to have the opportunity now to take over and sell it when she was ready to, knowing that not out of desperation, out of choice.
Yeah.
So she had asked the family, I have a sister, who's going to come and live with me to do the business? So it was selected that I would go. On the first day of moving, so I'm fully independent in London, a little bit of the backstory. I'm a life coach, I'm a dance teacher, I'm also doing freelance makeup, I'm doing studio. Every bit of money I could get, I'd go in the recording studio, because it's very expensive in London. So all my money was going into music, and I was running around doing that, and I loved it. On the first day after moving officially back with my mum, moved into her apartment, and on the first conversation she said, here you're not allowed to be gay. Here you're part of the Muslim community, you are too much at risk, because in this country it's illegal to be gay, which means that you would be blackmailed, you would be, there would be people hate crime on you, it's too risky for you. So you're going to need to not do that here. And here you're just going to focus on the business. And our business was the complete opposite of everything that I was doing in London. So that taught me, I surrendered. I said, okay, if God, you, the universe, want me to be here, I'm going to be here at service for my mother. I'm here to do my duty. We call it seva. I'm here to do seva for my mother. This is my time to now not think about me, only think about her. And within that process of surrender, I got to learn about business. I traveled. I got to learn about being an incredible leader within a management role, because I was given responsibilities because I was the son of my dad. So when certain situations for my mother got difficult, because certain people wouldn't talk to a woman, I would have to step in. And there was no nails and makeup and jewelry or none of that, because you had to present what they could communicate with, which isn't some alpha male thing. So I got to be that for a while, right? And I grew, I expanded. Was it comfortable? No. But is growth comfortable? Was it fun? No. But I got to be a boss, and I got to open a hotel and do all the interiors and travel to China and do lots of stuff. Was it, did I learn? Yes. Was I stolen from, blackmailed, arrested? Yes, I was all of that as well, right? But it was incredible, because when it came time to finally say, I've done this, I had the choice to choose to come to Cape Town or go back to London, and I chose Cape Town. And then that was a new chapter.
Oh,
And-
wow.
Excuse me.
It is incredible discipline to, like you say, the word was sever.
Seven, yeah.
That is incredible discipline to be committed. But at the end of the day, it's your mom, it's your mother, it's your family.
That's
I mean, I'm not saying you are forced into a situation or being held at a ransom, but just the mere fact that you looked at it as this is my service.
Yeah.
You are then openly committed and compassionate and very endearing to the situation. It is a sad story that you had to tail yourself back, but at the end of the day, it was serving a bigger purpose. And when you say all these things that you would have acquired, the skills, the better understanding, because I suppose at that time you understood yourself a little bit better, because the one thing that happens now, you really know now what you want.
And ultimately, are you what you look like? Are you the shoes? Is Hunter Blue this shoe? Is Hunter Blue the presentation? Is Hunter Blue the blue makeup? Hunter Blue is the spirit that lies within. It doesn't matter if I'm presenting alpha male working in some garage. I'm still me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm on stage covered with lights and diamonds. It's the same me. So what that taught me was, okay, I'm not going to be, for example, presenting being gay here. That just means I just am inside.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I have to prove anything or do anything, right? Because I'm here for mum, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, so it really taught me humility,
Sure.
and it taught me service, and it taught me that, you know what, life is too short, and I'm blessed to even have a mother, let alone a father, and I'm blessed that, you know, that she accepts me fully, and she can say that to me without me having a mad ego and saying, who do you think you are? I'm gay, I'm not gonna do it. But guess what? The first song that I wrote, the first song on the Red Story album, and it did very well in London in the club charts, got to number 22, was called So Gay. And it was a song about, don't mess with me, I'm gay. So it was a song answering the conversation which I had was with a homophobic person who put me down because I was gay. So I wrote a song about my reply.
Oh, wow.
And that song did very well, and an empowerment anthem.
Yeah.
And that was the first record I released. And that was because I had gone through Tanzania. And when I came to Cape Town and was flying back and forth to London, but living in Cape Town, I said that was the first song I wanted to sing, because it was just like, no, now it's my time. Don't mess with me. I'm gay, and I'm owning it. You can't push me around. This is me. So that came out at that time.
Oh,
And when
stunning.
that sort of thing comes out, and whichever, people are drawn to that, because people are drawn to authenticity, people are drawn to positive vibes and energy, but truth. This is what we want. We want truth. We don't want be charaded. We don't want to have cloaks pulled in front of our eyes. We can never see emotion, but when we see kindness and when we see love, we see compassion, we become vulnerable. So when there's truth and honesty and authenticity, that is that thing you were talking about earlier.
This is the vibration of Cape Town.
This is
But
what
this
it
is the people of Cape Town. This is why I'm so grateful and blessed to choose to live here. Because I've traveled the world, and I've just come from London. You know, I've spent 2 months in London, and energies are London's incredible. Fashion, music, you know, a queer scene, everything. But the people in Cape Town and the energy in Cape Town is where I am the most high, most vibrating at my most openness. You go to a big urban city, you start shutting down because people are scared. You don't look in anyone's eyes because they think you're mad. If you sit on the tube, you're sitting next to someone like this, but if you look at them, they're going to think that you want to, you know, communicate, and you can't communicate with anybody, right? So whereas here, well, I'm best friends with my Uber driver. Every Uber driver is like my, you know, my guru. Like, you know, I call them the wisdom talks.
Yes.
You know, everyone's chatting. It's lovely. In London, the Uber driver is not allowed to chat to you. It's not part of the service because that would be infringing on your privacy. Imagine.
Imagine.
Not even
We
chatting.
dance about everything.
I'm a
Crazy.
piano, nothing, no music, nothing. Just sit in the car like silence. Yeah.
What's next to Anta Blue? What's coming
Yes,
next?
what's next?
What can your audience expect? Where can they see you? Where can you be found? All of that.
We
So,
need to hunt you down now.
exactly, hunt me down in a blue way.
In a blue way.
Yeah, so there's lots happening and I'm really excited. It is, of course, you know that I'm releasing music. So on the 16th of May, a new song is coming out, which is part of the series of this let's say this album. It's called Addiction. And so coming out of Tremble Below, let's say if I was to bridge the two, Tremble Below is this deep connection, spiritual connection, sensual connection with a lover, okay? Then imagine getting too attached to that lover. Imagine then being too hooked into that. And imagine then it turning into an addiction. So the next song is about being addicted to that particular man and now exploring addiction. And so that's coming out on 16th of May. In terms of performances, yes, please. So I am very delighted to announce that I'm now going to curate and create the Hunter Blue live band, which we will go into rehearsal for at least, knowing me, at least 6 months, because it has to be, for me, it has to be somewhere unimaginably good. And so this winter for us in Cape Town, I'll be in rehearsals, and then in season, in summer, the Hunter Blue show will be coming out. And when that is out, you will see it on all my platforms.
Cool. And you'll come and tell us about it, yeah.
If you have me back.
No, we definitely have you back, because I've got another thing to ask. So this thing comes out on the 16th. I want to ask you and the producer, I want to ask you live. On the 19th, we have then our show. Can we then also have the song and
Well, listen to it. If it works within your the
No,
set,
it works already. I haven't heard it. I'm already saying
but,
yes.
but
already
listen to
saying yes.
Addiction and listen to the song because it's
yes
quite
already.
deep. It's quite a deep
I'm
song.
deep. I'm Titanic deep. Mariana Trench, baby. Don't come deeper than
Okay, you're right. All right. With pleasure, open heart,
cool.
please. Yes.
All right, and we
Excellent.
must
There
do
we
that.
go.
Yeah, we will try and find out. Because
Right,
not, but
yeah.
we will definitely want to see the thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
please.
yeah. And then also when the show
You'll
comes.
be very much on my VIP guest list.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Absolutely.
Thank
No,
you.
Absolutely.
most definitely, that is fantastic. Love your story and love your story because it's so inspirational. That story has got everything. It's got sacrifice. It's got passion. It's got humility. It's got warmth, love, kindness. It's got so much, and it is a really strong message as well. A strong story for people to latch on, and I'm sure it can inspire many people. But before we continue, we got comments.
We
don't
do have a comment there. That's right.
yeah. I didn't say
That's
anything though.
exciting.
Eddie Lorax says, amazing. Be unapologetically you. You must appreciate your unique self and keep the faith.
Oh, wow.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
That is
Again.
fantastic. And this is what your purpose is. We are here to serve and love.
There we go. Amen to that. Yes, please.
That is
Beautiful,
fantastic.
beautiful.
That is really, really fantastic. And that basically echoes the sentiment I wanted to.
Exactly.
But just not much better put than what I would have done. So thank you for that. So yeah, your story is truly fantastic.
But I have to say, all right, before I have to say that again, it's not about. I must ground this. My story is. I have a blessed life. I've been very lucky and very privileged to have incredible parents that were kind and loving, and even though they didn't understand me, right, there was a really beautiful story. When I came out, I had already packed a suitcase and I threw it outside the house, and I came out in the lounge and I did it very dramatically. And said, you're to my dad, you're never gonna love me, you're not gonna understand me because I'm never gonna play football because I'm gay. And then I walked out. And I got my bag and I started walking out the house, down the driveway. It was so funny. It was like a Bollywood film. For me, it was a full Bollywood film, right? Because I had the dancers and... right? And he was like, he follows me out. He said, where are you going? And I say, well, you don't love me, so I'm just going to leave. And he goes, well, where are you leaving to?
Oh.
And I was like, well, he goes, listen, you're my son. I love you. He got my back. Come on. And he brought me back inside and we sat down. And he goes, I don't care what all of that is. You're my son and I love you. We're going to work it out. And this is a very alpha male. Like this is someone that, you know, had worked with gay people in the industry, but no friends. And this was not in his at all understanding, right? But he straight away went into love rather than you're different. It was in my mind, I was like, you don't love me. But he always loved me. And when he passed, I'm getting closer, that's what he was trying to tell me. I've loved you for the whole of your life, but you wouldn't let me show it to you. Because in my mind, I decided, you don't love me because I'm different.
Oh, jeez.
So that was my frame, living a life thinking that I'm different, you don't love me, I'm different, so I'm gonna try and be famous and I'm gonna try and get love.
Wow.
No, I was always loved. But as soon as I worked out that your mind tells you silly things, but if you have faith, that's where you can understand and let go.
Yeah.
That's where you become who you're meant to be.
Wow.
Oh,
I've got to ask you this, and thank you for staying longer there already because
Thanks
I know.
for
thank you for
I will
going a
completely
little
over
bit over
time.
here because
I do chat. Sorry.
yeah, no.
No.
But I got to ask you: do other people? Do people come up to you when they share the story? And I want to frame it like as you put it now, coming out, or do they tell you their story? Do people share with you their experience as you share with them your experience?
How it happens for me, you know, which is really beautiful, is that because I'm in this incredible community, you know, in Cape Town. Any event I go to, okay, you know, when I go to an event, I will always have interactions with the most beautiful souls that will come up to me and go, oh, we love you, we love your Instagram, we love how you look, we love your songs, and then they tell me something, and they will always give me a gift. They will say, oh my God, you know, we love this look, I love it so much. You know what, I went and looked for it and I did that. Or I love that song that you wrote about this and this. This is what wakes me up and it really helped me through this time. So they'll tell me just a little bit about something. But you know what's beautiful, which I find really so lovely, but I want it to slightly, I'm saying this out loud, okay? I'm saying it to you.
There we go.
Don't be shy of me. A lot of people will come up to me and they're very nervous because there's this production, yes. And the production this is how I feel inside out. But don't be nervous. So I get a lot of people that don't want to come because they're like, oh, there's Hunter Blue. Oh, there's Hunter Blue. But it's like, come, talk to me. Like, hello, I'm fine. You know, like we can have a chat. So, you know, so I'm saying that. I'm open.
There you have it. All we can say is thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, we really appreciate it.
Thank you. I had such a good time.
I'm
Thank
glad.
you. Please have me back for longer.
Yes, we're going to.
You're definitely coming back. You're definitely coming back. I think also before the whole show started, that would be great.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was
To share it
beautiful.
with you.
Yeah, that
Steps
would
and
be
everything, yeah.
fantastic. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Speak to the
See, we
director,
already
we've got it.
No, we already told them that on the 19th we're gonna get a song. They must
you
just
so
say
much.
they can't say no.
No, they cannot say no.
Can't say there's no yeah.
Yeah.
But Hunter Blue, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Everything of the best.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be on Mahala Mondays. Yes, I did it. I'm on Mahala Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The fun always continues, and thank you very much to you for joining us and watching and being part of the show. Of course, there's some exciting stuff coming your way as well with Mahala Monday, because we're also going to have happening news for you. So things that is coming up and some exciting things for you to do and explore. We're going to feature that for you as well. So that's going to be an exciting segment, Rhoda.
Exciting, yeah. So look forward to that episode because we're going to give you some very good news that's happening on Mahala Monday as well. Definitely.
Yeah. But tonight was really a fabulous show. It is not every day you are with true, pure, 100% artist. I'm telling you this now
Definitely.
because this is very important. There was so many elements and so many wonderful things. And although we touched on the music, we never really explored it as much as I wanted to because it is really, really fabulous and a really true testament. But it does give you maybe just a little bit of homework because we know we've whet your appetite somewhat. So you just need to go and check it out. And it's very easy. So Hunter Blue, that is the name you've got to remember. Available on all the platforms you can find there. Just go out there and, of course, try and get it. And there is a new single coming out, of course, as you said, on the 16th. That will be hitting out as well. So just follow on the platforms and it will be there. So you could be one of the first to check it out and be part of that. That is quite revolutionary. But I want to close with this thought that I had because it's an incredible story of amazing positive energy, a wonderful kind and warm impact. But all of it has got two fundamental things. Everything that Hunter Blue has done is out of love, with an unwavering commitment to serve and discover oneself. And as you heard, even at Hunter Blue's own opinion, that's a journey that never ends.
Never ends.
Because nobody knows what holds tomorrow. But when we are in the service of others, and once you are true to yourself, boy, is the world your oyster. It was an incredible story. And just a wonderful impact. I'm out. Definitely. I don't have anything else to say.
I think you said it all too well. Well done on that one.
Is that it?
Thank you. Yes, that's it.
Is that it?
Yes. Have a fabulous week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you on the next Mahala Monday. Rhoda owes me $200. He said the show will be not under an hour. I've done it 58 minutes.
58 minutes? Oh, jeez. We can go for another 2 minutes. See you guys.